Welcome back to Fast Money. The demise of the crypto stocks may be here as blockchain and Bitcoin-related names continue to go down. Our Bob Pisani's live at the NYSE with more. Hi, Bob.
Hello, Melissa. Once high-flying companies associated with cryptocurrencies are crashing along with Bitcoin. Riot Blockchain, remember that one? Peaked at $46 in December, down 86% since then. Overstock.com peaked at 86 in early January. It's down 61% since then. And remember all those silly blockchain ETFs that started at the height of the cryptocurrency craze? That was back in early January. The SEC wouldn't even let them use the word blockchain in the title. That's how silly it got. Here's one example. The Amplified Transformational Data Sharing ETF. How's that for a title? BLOK is the symbol. It's only 14% below its January highs. Now, it says it provides access to an actively managed basket of global companies at the forefront of blockchain-based technology. It sounds good, but all the companies in it, Taiwan Semiconductors, NVIDIA, IBM, Intel, they have very little real exposure to the blockchain and very little in revenues from that. The problem is there's not enough companies that have any significant exposure to the blockchain. There's no real stocks to invest in. We need a bigger ecosphere for this. We need exchanges, for example, to go public. And that's just not happening, at least not yet. Finally, there's Longfin, which hit $142 in December, has dropped like a rock after the company said it was being investigated by the SEC, which has requested documents related to its IPO and the acquisition of Zidu.com. That's a blockchain technology provider that offers microfinance lending. The streak of bad luck for Longfin actually started last week when FTSE Russell said the stock will be removed from its indexes. The stock did rise late in the day, and maybe because you guys on Fast Money teased the CEO would be on. Who knows? You might be moving things, Melissa. Back to you.
Yeah, the intraday chart certainly tells that story. Bob, thanks. Bob Pisani at the NYSE. So as you know, we had the Longfin CEO right here on Fast Money back in December. Here's a clip from that day. I have a very simple question for you. At 2.3 million shares, how much was that worth? That was what, 10, 15 million dollars?
It is $10 million.
In the meantime, Longfin gained, what, $4 billion in market cap. Is that justified?
It's not justified. I'm not saying
it's not justified.
It's not justified. It's insane because, you see, I'm a profitable, good company. Honestly, there people are dragging to this market cap is not justified.
So for this special moment, we brought in our Fast Money crypto baller, Brian Kelly. BK, what do you think? You know, a lot of these companies have gone down. So has Bitcoin. Could it just be that it is going down with the cryptocurrency?
It could be that. It's hard. I mean, a lot of these companies out there, don't have a lot of exposure to crypto, right? And, you know, I can't figure out, particularly in Longfin's case, what the exposure is actually. It doesn't seem like they have anything, but we'll find out when we have the CEO on. In terms of Overstock, you know, they've had some issues with their T0 ICO, but there are companies outside the U.S. actually that have significant exposure to crypto.
Right. In places like Japan, for instance, where it is considered legal tender.
Absolutely.
You can build a business around it.
There are exchanges that are owned by other companies. The people who own TradeStation actually are going to be buying Exchange.
Interesting. All right. Stick around, BK. Still ahead, it is a moment we have all been waiting for. The CEO of Longfin, a blockchain company being investigated by the SEC, will be here. CEO's got a lot to say, and he'll say it after this break.
At Fidelity, our online U.S. equity trades are just $4.95. So no matter what you trade or where you trade, you'll only pay $4.95. Fidelity, open an account today.
You compare prices on everything. Flights, hotels, you name it. Now you can do it with life insurance. In just 5 minutes, Policy Genius compares quotes from top insurers to get you the best value. Compare and save with PolicyGenius.com.
It's the Nutrisystem Spring Sales Event. Celebrate new beginnings and save 40% off every program, including Turbo 13. Lose up to 13 pounds and 7 inches overall in your first month. Money back guaranteed.
I'm Marie and I lost 50 pounds with Nutrisystem.
I am so much healthier now.
Nutrisystem delivers your favorite foods made healthier, perfectly portioned to fuel and satisfy.
Count, measure, meetings, not with Nutrisystem.
Order your 28-day program right now and we'll rush you Turbo 13 with the new Turbo Takeoff Week with new foods. Plus a week of probiotic and delicious Turbo Shakes free to shrink your belly and lose weight.
You'll see results your very first week.
For a limited time, save 40% off every program.
Nutrisystem works.
Do it. Do it now. Don't wait.
Go online
or call 877-432-THIN and get free shakes plus 40% off every program.
Picture those perfect days of your youth. There was a time to live your youth. Now may be the time to invest for your retirement. Get our free bond guide to get started. You've worked hard all these years with retirement in mind. Isn't it time to invest in something that gives you investment income that's federally tax-free? Since 1990, Henyon & Walsh has specialized in investment-grade tax-free municipal bonds. Our free guide explains the benefits and risks of municipal bonds, how they provide federally tax-free income, facts every investor should know, as well as strategies for smart bond investing. They say nothing in life is free. Thankfully, that doesn't apply to our bond guide. Call 800-376-4376 to find out what tax-free can do for you. If you have $10,000 or more to invest, get your free bond guide right now. Call 800-376-4376. That's 800-376-4376.
Why don't we wait here? I just wanna stay here now.
Live from the Masters, all this week on Golf Channel.
We've told you about Longfin and their troubles in the last block, so let's get right to it. Joining us here at the NASDAQ is the Longfin chairman and CEO, Venkat Meenavalli. Venkat, welcome back to the show. Great to have you with us.
Thank you very much, madam. Thanks.
So since the last time we've seen you, the stock is down significantly, about 92% from highs. You've gotten kicked off the Russell 2000. The SEC is investigating because of material weaknesses and other things. And the noted short seller Citron has tweeted out that you are a pure stock scheme and the filings and press releases are riddled with inaccuracies and fraud. Why did you decide to come here on the show?
See, I want to tell you, we started as a small cap company as a under Jobs Act, Reg A. We are not an S1 company. That means the companies which are evolving and going to create jobs in America and the worldwide, anyone can come and start with the taxes low and to create the jobs. That's how the Jobs Act was created, to jumpstart the businesses. So we, under Jobs Act, if you look at it, we are like an emerging growth company. We are not like an S1. I had to do when I filed, a lot of people out there said, you didn't file your Q3, you didn't file your Q1, I have to file a 6-month statement, one essay. Then I became a 1934 Act company on November 22nd when I filed my 8A. That's the day. So my filing has to be for December quarter. So the full year audited financials were submitted on 31st of March. That's the last day or second. You can see my 10K on the NASDAQ. We are a profitable company. If you look at it, my EBITDA is 4.6 million if you take the stock compensation out. That shows we're a small company. I'm not a big company.
Sure. And some people will say that companies that have gone public or gone to market under Reg A, they might not have as tight financials as some other companies that are larger that go public through the normal S1 process. At the same time, what the SEC is saying, Venkat, is that there are material weaknesses and that you lack qualified personnel who fully understand GAAP accounting. I mean, those are very basic charges.
Madam, I want to come to you on that. See, SEC never said that. SEC asked me 20 questions on that, and there are 300 blockchain companies they are asking. It's not alone me who are related to blockchain or crypto they are asking. 10 questions are about my financing deal with Hudson Bay, 10 questions about my Jiddu acquisition, whether I'm selling any coins to the public. I'm not doing. I'm using a blockchain for my own self. We are not selling anything. And 10 questions about how you marketed the IPO and all the things. They never commented on material weaknesses because this is my 10K filing where my auditors commented saying that, because when they audited like a S1 company. And, I don't need to follow SOX compliances because until I hit a $1 billion revenue. So if you look at it, I have a positive cash flow. If you look at my balance sheet, I have a positive cash flow. The auditors think, okay, whatever the cash is there may not be sufficient for my future things. That is one material weakness. And second thing is I don't need to follow US GAAP, but still because of 1934, we moved to US GAAP. Because as a Jobs Act company, I can still follow IFRS also.
But,
so under US
what
GAAP,
you're saying is inconsistent with what your website and what Stampede Capital, your parent company or the company that you're the chairman of, you guys talk about on those websites that you're doing billions of dollars of derivatives transactions.
Yes.
Okay, well, you're only making $4 million out of this one. You're telling you're just a growing company. When we go down to your office, wait. When we go to your offices downtown, it's a 3-person office with nobody in it.
Yes.
So to me, when I look at that, it looks like you actually don't have a company at all.
Good.
And then I look at the blockchain for your coin, your Zidu coin, or whatever the heck it is. Last time there was a transaction was 30 days ago for $100.
Okay, coming to this, sir. First, point 1. Under Jobs Act, you need to have a U.S. base. And when we started at WeWork with the 3 people there. And I have my employees, and you can check my payroll because my auditors are Cohen Rasnick. They audited the accounts.
What about the people that quit just before you went public?
Okay, sir, I'm coming.
CFO?
Let me answer you one after one, See, now we are taking a bigger space in Madison Avenue, and we are...
How many people are you employing there?
See, total... I'm not a big manpower company because, as you said, we trade a lot of derivatives on CME, SGX, DGCX. There's all notional volume.
How many people, though?
The total probably will have 10 to 12 people here because...
10 to 20
in United States.
In the United States. And then overall, globally,
overall,
how many people?
This year probably will cross 60 people.
60 people total.
Yeah, in Dubai, we started our operations. India, we started our operations. Singapore, we have the operations. Now we in China, we are.
Is this all Longfin or is this Stampede Capital?
100% subsidiaries of Longfin. I'm talking about 100% subsidies of Longfin in India. We already started called Longcom.
And how does Stampede fit into that? Because Longfin is billed as a subsidiary of Stampede Capital.
No, sir.
That's what it says in your filings.
No, sir. Stampede owns 36% of Longfin. That's this.
Not according to filings, it owns 67%.
No, sir. I own. See, because I own Stampede, and see that I'll coming to the.
I'm looking at SEC filings. It says it owns 67%, and it says you own 27%. So somebody's wrong. Did you not?
Somebody's wrong. Not we are wrong because you can see my 10K filings. See, I'm just right now on the NASDAQ floor. Even NASDAQ is saying you have a free float of 6 million. From where you got? I asked him. He said from third party. I said, the information, see, let me tell you, there are 76 million shares when we got listed. Out of that, 30 million shares are not listed on NASDAQ. NASDAQ, only Class A common shares are listed. My 30 million are Class B common stock, which is not listed at all. So out of 76 million, my CFO, because I asked him to move back to United States, he said, I'm a Singapore, I cannot move because I have my obligations. Then I said, after the IPO, please, when you're going, he agreed to return his 2 million shares because always you give the shares for the future performance. So my float is 44 million shares. And 44 million shares, I did an IPO of 1.15 million shares. And there is an independent consultant. We have given 2 million shares in September 11th, which are freely tradable on March 11th.
This is the independent consultant that denies that they're an independent consultant for you.
See, if he's...
they're on record. There's a quote from them saying we are not an independent consultant.
I'm not arguing on that. I'm just telling you, sir, on September 11th, the shares are issued. On March 11th, 6 months, for anyone, whether it's an associate or a company or anyone, the 6 months lock-in period expired for him. So technically, we meet 7.11% on the Class A common stock. Just please remove the Class B common stock. Class B common stock is owned by me, which is not listed on NASDAQ. The only Class A common shares are listed.
I have to ask you this. And granted, this information comes from a short seller, so he's got an axe to grind, so to speak. But it looks like, Brian was talking about Stampede Capital. There's a transfer of about 11 million shares to Stampede Capital, actually to your wife, giving her 51% control of Stampede Capital.
My wife no, that is complete. Madam, that's complete.
Sold, who then started selling the shares?
See, I gave a complete disclosure on the CNBC that I need capital, and I sold the shares. That is in Stampede Capital, has nothing to do with Longfin. That was one and a half year back. I came publicly and we disclosed. Every disclosure is there. I'm living in the capital market 16 years, not today. Every disclosure is there. There is no pinpoint. Even my 10K. SEC never commented on my material. It is my 10K. I told them, if whatever you want going concern, because I'm an emerging company, you put there. That is what I told them everywhere. See, perfect disclosures were given in my 10K. No other company will give it. Straight to the blue. I disclose my SEC. It's a voluntary disclosure. Even SEC is not a public inquiry. They subpoenaed so many companies. But for us, it's a voluntary disclosure. That also I told my auditors, please put it there.
Okay, so everything's in the filing, you say. Everything is completely disclosed. There's no hiding that you're trying to transfer shares and get rid of them.
Madam, I'm telling you one thing. That is very, very mistaken.
Have you sold shares yourself? Have you sold shares? Because you're a major shareholder. Did you sell shares at the top?
I'm telling you, that's what.
Because you came on the show and you said that the valuation was justified. I'm not going to sell the
same statement. I told on the same TV that I will not going to sell next 3 years. I'm standing on my statement. 44 million shares. I want 10 million.
So what do you think of the valuation of the company now? Because the last time you said that it was not justified.
Here. What they are asking is every cryptocurrency is asked.
The valuation of the company.
I'm telling
the valuation of the company.
On a 75 million, I made 4.6 EBITDA, and we are going to grow at 150% growth rate in going forward. In the street, I'm not saying I don't deserve a 5 billion valuations and 10 billion valuation. Let the street decide its valuation.
Because the street decided that it's 75% less than it was a month ago.
See,
is that right?
The
street's deciding that.
Yes, street is deciding because, madam, I'm going to write to SEC and FINRA because of the shorts. Because we got the information. We have a special investigation agency. We collected the short. According to us, there are 28 million shares shorted of $1.4 billion betted against me, which I have the stock trades on 14 exchanges today, $1.4 billion. The guys are trying to destroy us. I'm fighting here. I want to come and fight.
You feel like you're under attack?
Yes, $1.4 billion. If you want, I can send you the day-wise short at 46.67 is the average price where the shorts are there. 1.4 billion is against a small Jobs Act company. And the Russell made the mistake. We never approached the Russell to add us because Russell takes its own decisions. Russell made the mistake. And
But you don't have much revenue, is what you're saying.
Sir, I have only 75 million revenue with 4.6.
But then I don't understand. When I look at the website, and you just said it a few minutes ago that you trade billions of dollars in derivatives.
Notional volume, sir. If I trade a Bitcoin one future, it's a notional volume. If I trade,
what are your margins?
What
are your margins?
Okay, let me
on that business? What are your margins on that business?
I told you, sir. The total margins are 4.6 million EBITDA I made. It's a thin margin. I make a pip, 2 pips. How many times you show the capital?
But you say that you're a market maker on the CME and the ICE. Is that correct?
No, sir. We acted as a market maker for a particular contract. Whenever there is a particular contract, they call. Previously they called for Indian rupee. Now also they are sending a new contract like that. Similarly on SGX, we do when there are particular contracts they call. We are an official.
Why do you think
you are official market maker?
Not official means in the sense they. Time to time, they will sign a contract.
Is there a reason why then you're not registered with the NFA? If
no,
you're an official market maker.
Market makers means in futures, derivatives, I clear through a third-party clearing member.
Who do you clear through?
But they listen to me, sir. 1 second, sir. Please excuse me one thing. See, CFTC or MAS in Singapore or anyone, when they come with the contract, the regulators are the exchanges themselves act as a quasi-regulators. The exchanges have a derivative, like in Singapore Exchange GT. I'm a member of the Securities Exchange, and they will ask me a contract, can you sign to make the market? I make the markets.
We're out of time.
No. That's a scam!